Breaking news in the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce is retiring after 13 seasons, according to multiple reports. The 36-year-old was clearly emotional on the sideline at the end of the 32-9 loss to the Bucs in the wild card round on Monday night. You see, finally leaving the field for one last time. He reportedly informed his teammates in the post-game locker room that he was retiring. Kelce, of course, the older brother of star Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, played his entire career with the Eagles and retires with a Hall of Fame resume for sure. He was a 6-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowl selection, played in 193 regular season games, 13 seasons, all with the Eagles and a Super Bowl champion. We now bring in our offensive lineman, Ryan Harrison. Ryan, first off, your reaction to the news. We saw how Jason was during the game last night and after it, and now hearing this news now.
A fantastic career by one of the best people in the NFL. Not only do you get the 7 Pro Bowls and 6-time All-Pros, you're also talking about a man who made offensive linemen sexy in 2023, voted the sexiest man alive by People magazine. And he's one of the most gregarious and talented players that the NFL has ever had. Somebody who has helped Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni. You go through it. Anybody who's come to the Eagles in the last 10 years has benefited from having Jason Kelce on the line. He's been a tremendous stalwart for the Eagles. He's helped so many people in addition to his Super Bowl championship team. So hats off to one of the best people and players in the NFL, calling it a wrap after 13 seasons. And no surprise, Zach, that it happens in the same stadium where Tom Brady played his last game.
So we had up on the bottom of the screen that he is the 5th center all-time to have 6 first-team All-Pro selections, making it to the Pro Bowl 7 times. Those are maybe stats that people can understand to explain how good someone is, but doesn't really go paint the full picture like you easily can look up stats when it comes to anyone on offense. It's a skill position. How can you describe and put into words for those out here just how dominant Kelce was?
He was one of the best to ever do it, a future Hall of Famer. And the thing that people miss are his speed, his communication, and his finish. Number one, I remember when he came into the NFL, I was with him on his first drive from training camp with the Eagles to our first preseason game. He was a 6th-round pick who had just worked on figuring out the playbook. And then all of a sudden, he became an expert in that training camp and later for the rest of his career. But his speed to get to the blocks, at one point this year, even telling Jalen Hurts, no, we're not going to change the play. This is the linebacker. You're going to see this here. Jalen Hurts wants to change the linebacker to the right. Jason Kelce says, no, we're going to stick with 50 over there, smart guy. They kept with 50. The O-line believed in him. And oh, by the way, Jalen Hurts gets a first down. And then you add to the fact that he's one of the only players on that Eagles team that coaches would listen to. It's one thing if players listen to you. You're supposed to listen to your center. But for Jason Kelce to have the ear of every head coach he's played for and to be able to influence so many careers around him, that's what makes Jason Kelce one of the greatest centers of all time.
I think he's certainly been helped on by his podcast, doing it with his brother Travis, first to kind of get a little bit of an even better inside look of what Jason is like off the field. You had that relationship with Jason. Can you kind of give us a little bit of an inside scoop and a story that you might have?
I can't give you an inside scoop. All I'll say in honor of Jason is that I believe you're going to hear him very soon, either on television or on radio. He's got a tremendous career after the game of football if he wants it. But Zach, he's also a husband and a father, and I can tell you from being a parent in the NFL, you just feel like you want to be home doing everything you can, cooking every meal. Sooner or later, that dream goes out the window too. But for now, Jason Kelce has earned every amount of time he wants away from the game. But I always think about that young man, that 6th-round pick that was scrappy, sitting in the backseat of my car on the way to the first preseason game, stressed about if he would make the team. Well, now he's got a big smile as one of the sexiest men alive, leaving one of the most storied histories in Eagles franchise history at the offensive line position.
You're big on bringing up that sexiest man alive tag. It's the second time that you've mentioned it now.
You want me to take my shirt off right now? Okay,
I do not. I do not want that at all.
See?
We need to get you off the screen. So what we're going to do right here, we're just going to toss in the sound of Jason Kelce after they won the Super Bowl of him wearing the mummer suit, and then we'll come back to you, Ryan. Keep the clothes on. So that mummer suit is iconic and symbolic in the city of Philadelphia. We normally only see it New Year's Day when they have their New Year's parade, but Kelce brought it out there for the Super Bowl celebration. Does that just kind of show the type of guy that Jason Kelce is?
Absolutely does. There he is, confident with all those colors. Is that a hat? Is it Prince Ali's dad? We don't know. But you also saw head coach Doug Peterson smiling and laughing behind him. Jason Kelce brought joy to everybody he played with, everybody he knew in the NFL. And at the barbershop, Zach, some people say there's no Travis without Jason. So it's not just the Batman mask and the costumes, but the city of Philadelphia fell in love with Jason Kelce, as each and every teammate and coach he had did as well.
The city of brotherly love giving us a good one in Jason Kelce, one of the greatest centers to do it. Ryan Hayworth, thank you so much for your time as we talk about Jason Kelce and his decision to call it a career. Certainly a very storied one when it comes to the most first-team All-Pro selections from centers all time. There you see Jason Kelce with 6 of them. Bulldog Turner with 7. He had to have been just a straight-up unit. But Jason Kelce calling it a career, all 13 seasons spent with the Eagles, the center saying bye-bye.